find that Ouija board, I would use it at your place right now, the place you're currently living in, which is, and you tell me some of the things that have happened in your place, and then I'll tell you some of the things I've experienced just staying with you in that living room.
Well, it's definitely nothing bad. I don't feel anything
No.
weird or like heavy in the house. There is weird times that I'll come into the garage and I'll just feel somebody either is watching me or I've heard things kind of move around, almost like if maybe I've always thought maybe if there's like a rodent in here or something. But you know, the hair on the back of my neck will stand up. So I creep out of the garage pretty quickly. You know, that's definitely one of my things.
You're a big guy. I mean, you're a personal trainer. You're you know.
Yeah, you know, after all the stuff that we've kind of seen, like, you know, I can creep myself out usually a lot, you know. But you know, then last week, I think it was probably only last week, we were dancing. I was dancing with the baby and my wife was filming it. And you could see something float into the screen and kind of dance and float out. And it could be dust. I don't know. It was creepy. And, you know, kid, Giovanna wouldn't admit this, but I've put something somewhere and that sucker has been gone. And I swear to God, I've looked for it and then I've come back and it was in that spot.
That is bananas.
I want to say that's happened at least twice. Giovanna would say like, I'm out of it and maybe I'm losing it. But that I swear to you that has happened. And it's usually like I'm in a rush and I know it was there and I'm looking at there and then I'm rushing around the house looking for something else and I'll go back there because I know it's there. And that's probably happened twice.
Okay, whatever it is trying to get attention. Because I remember one time, I forget where you and Gio went, but it was me and Selena, just me and Selena in the house. I was supposed to babysit. We were playing Legos. And she stops playing Legos out of the blue, just like, I'm done with this. And she looks at me and she goes, Uncle Matt, with urgency, this lady in the kitchen, she fell down. She fell down into the floor. And I go, I thought she was like making up a story. And I go, oh, so what happened? And she goes, yeah, she fell down into the floor. And I go, so tell me, and she goes, that's enough. She looks me dead in the eyes and goes, that's enough.
Is there anything behind me, kid? Because my hair's standing up again.
No,
I'm
dude,
starting to freak out a little bit.
I told you this because you came home. She went in the corner of the living room and sat by herself. And I swear to God, kid, I went to the couch next to her and I'm like, Selena, are you okay? You want some water? She wouldn't talk, just stared like down. And I kept looking in the kitchen like, what? I got so creeped out.
Yeah, I don't even want to tell Giovanna that.
No, don't. Actually, she probably shouldn't watch this.
No.
It was terrifying. And then you came home and I'm like, kid, I gotta tell you this. You were like, oh yeah, you know, kids make up stuff all the time. Out of the blue like that?
Now it's freaking me out.
What was behind me that she saw? Because kids are intuitive like that. They can see stuff like that. I think it was that same trip. I was sleeping in the living room by myself, remember? We were all watching TV, we went to bed. Now, that was a toy that you had of a bear or a dog. I think it was a dog.
Yeah, it was a dog. And it was ABC 123 dog or whatever.
And it said, I think it says like, I love you or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm laying there and that thing didn't make a sound all day. Did it? Did that thing go on? Did it make a sound? Right? So your two dogs, all of a sudden, when you guys went to bed, they go to the side window in your backyard and they start barking at the glass.
Oh God, kid.
I'm like, there's nothing out there. Cause I went and I looked out. I'm like, what are you guys barking at? What is it? Nothing. I go back to lay down. That doll lights up and says, I love you. And that's when I ran to your door. I'll never forget. I run to your door and I'm like, Nick.
Kid, I want to get out of the garage.
This is crazy. The doll's talking to me. And you said, and I quote, I can't deal with this right now, man.
I can't deal with this right now, man.
It happened twice. That doll went off twice. And it wasn't threatening, like you said, it wasn't threatening. but it did say "I love you," and then it had another light up thing where it made like music. I forget the music.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It had a bunch of music to it.
kid, that
There's definitely something. Oh God, kid, this garage. There's definitely something that's nice, though. I believe it's nice
no,
because I don't feel anything mean or anything.
no. If it
I'll
was,
tell you one time I almost just remembered when you said about the dogs.
Mhm.
Another time when me and Giovanna were living on Orange Road. This was crazy, kid. I went downstairs. We were on the 3rd level. I went downstairs to walk the dogs. I felt something hit me like a ton of bricks, and the dogs stopped. The dogs wouldn't come behind me. They stopped and they wouldn't walk. And I know they had to go to the bathroom. And their ears, I had Zygmunt and Roxy, and both of them stopped. And I felt something in front of me. And kid, I'm going to tell you right now, I turned around and I felt it behind me coming towards me. And the dogs ran upstairs and I ran upstairs and I would not go back. I told Giovanna. And she remembers that too, because she saw my face. Something was either coming towards that building or outside. And it was coming towards me. I could tell it. I swear to you. I've never ran so fast before in my life. And the dogs wouldn't go. They stopped dead in their tracks, kid. Roxy started barking, and I felt like something like coming.
no,
It was creepy. And that was not nice.
it's funny. It's like with people. Sometimes you can just sense someone's back. I find that almost everybody has a story they can't explain, or a feeling that they weren't alone, or some kind of energy, or something was like weird happened. Like,
Somebody's got something, kid.
everyone's got something.
I have a client for you that I was going to talk to you about that told me a story about when she was a teenager on a field trip and she went through something, and her and her friend were lost and the field trip was freaking out. And when she came back out of it, it was nighttime. But for her, it was 5 seconds. For them, it was 4 hours. And this is a client of mine that is a businesswoman. She swears to this day that she went into some sort of a time portal. It was through a rock. It was like they were in a field trip. She'll explain it, but it was through like a rock. It was like a little thing. And she crawled through it. And when she went to the other side, her and her friend were there for, she thought was 5 minutes. When she came back, it was nighttime and the camp freaked out. And she was like, "What are you talking about? I was gone for a little bit of time. I don't know what, nobody believed what she was saying."
Kid, if only we could have a ghost that would give us like, point spread tips, or, could maybe like, tip a football. I think like, why do we always got to get the scary stuff? Why can't it be something that benefits?
Yeah, we need one to whisper the lottery numbers or something in my ear. 14, 37, 21. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Well, that way, the ghost is moving on up too. They're moving up too.
Yes, exactly. You can live with me. I'll take you with me. I'll just build a bigger house around the garage.
Mickey, thanks so much, man, for coming on.
Kid, I love you.
Listen, we're gonna do that Ouija board one soon.
That's gonna be creepy.
So yeah, prepare.
I'm looking forward to that.
One. And then I think
I got some questions already lined up for her, man. I don't know if she'll answer them, because I remember one she wouldn't answer back then, but I'm hoping now maybe we can get a little closure on that.
Well, she thinks it's all going to be fun, and
no, it's not going to be fun.
This is something that's been
nothing fun about this. That's going to be because maybe I'll probably start thinking about it more, kid. Than I already do now.
Try to stir up some memories.
I will, and I'll try to boost Mom a little bit too. Maybe she can rile up some old memories of that day. Because
I tell you what, she hates this kind of stuff, but she still remembers that day, and we've talked about it. And
nobody can forget that day.
Nobody forgets it. That's why it's so good. It's like
I don't know how we slept that night, to be honest with you, kid. I don't know how we went to bed.
The most proof of the afterlife I've ever experienced personally. And we are going to get into that next month. If you have a ghost story and you want to share it with me, and maybe I'll interview you, it's cryptohunter283@gmail.com. Please send them in to me. Kid, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. And
I love you too,
next
kid.
week.